Hi and welcome to the FinancialFox Crypto Edition. Today we will be discussing developments and challenges of crypto exchanges with my special guest, Tyler Swope, otherwise known as the crypto evangelist Chico Crypto. Hi Chico, how are you?
I'm doing excellent. Thank you for having me on the Financial Fox show. I'm very excited to share my opinions on what's going on with the cryptocurrency markets as well as exchanges.
That is my pleasure. So let's start with a bit of controversy, but without getting too head up. So Binance recently delisted some crypto coins. The reason we're explaining in their blog. What was your reaction to the news, considering actually those coins, they pay listing fee to be on the Binance platform?
Well, my personal opinion is Binance, they have a pretty ingenious model, but at the same time, it's very shady. So coins that want to be listed on Binance, they do have to pay an outrageous listing fee. Sometimes it's upwards of to 100,000, and I've heard rumors of it being up to $1 million in the bull market, which is crazy to be listed on an exchange. One thing though is you have to purchase, well, you don't have to, but you get better prices, discounts, if you pay in Binance's native token, BNB. So when you see Binance coin going up in the market, it's usually because there's a coin about to be listed on the exchange because that project is purchasing a mass amount of BNB. So it is, ingenious. It's helping the Binance coin, but at the same time, is that really ethical?
Yeah, but that can be seen as a manipulation, isn't it?
Yes, it's full manipulation. Unfortunately or fortunately, how you look at it, this industry is not fully regulated yet. So is that illegal? No, but is it ethical? Probably not.
Okay, let's see, let's go a little bit into the more details. So they basically said that these coins, they were not satisfying particular requirement. I mean, how can crypto exchanges verify the aspect of a coin to be listed on an exchange? What do you think should be, the due diligence? Because, if then you can't come back in 1 year or 6 months and say, oh, actually, now you have to get off our exchange.
I understand that fully, and there does have to be some sort of regulation that comes in regarding exchanges and listing on top of them. Of course, if the coin turns out to be a scam, well, the exchange should have done their due diligence in the beginning before they listed that. But with the bull market last year, 2017, coins weren't looking for due diligence. They weren't looking into the technology. All they were looking at was this. They were looking at money, and if that project could provide the money, they were going to get on the exchange. So in the future, I do think there has to be some sort of checklist. Is there a team? Do they have the funds to continue? Does it have a mainnet? Does it have a functioning blockchain? Things like that need to be implemented in the exchanges so we don't have situations like this.
And also, would be maybe a possibility to waive this listing fee for some genuine ICOs out there, which don't have the budget, but they have a strong user case.
Yes, and that is true as well. And a lot of these coins are community run, which they don't have the full budget to pay the $1 million listing fee. And that's why I'm very excited for things like decentralized exchanges, which will bring the cost down. I'm sure there will be some cost to get on the decentralized exchange. You got to pay some of the developers, but the costs aren't going to be just to fill the pockets of the people in charge.
Okay, let's come back to decentralized exchange a little bit later. Now, you mentioned about some good project and cryptocurrency. I would like to talk a little bit about Digibyte, which was actually one of those crypto coins which refused to pay the listing fee requested by Binance. You have been quite emphatic in your comments about Digibyte. Do you want maybe to explain your position a bit more?
Yes. So the reason I decided to support Digibyte as well as move a large stack of a project I used to support, Neo, into Digibyte was because I respect Digibyte's ethos and morals, what they are doing. They are fully transparent about what happens. They do not bow down to exchanges like Binance and pay their listing fee. They stand up to them. And the first time they stood up to Binance, it was just after the parabolic bull run, and Binance was in full power. So them doing that, it spoke to me because they were saying, no, we're not going to do that, and we'll fight back. We're not going to let Binance just bully around projects. And that is one of the main reasons I moved over to Digibyte. Not only because I like the technology, it's absolutely excellent, but I also like what they stand for.
I mean, Digibyte has no marketing budget, but they managed to build a really large crypto community who, you know, you said voluntarily support what they believe is actually a game-changing project. Now, I think often major exchanges these days expect listing fee to be paid by the cryptocurrency community. I mean, do you think that is acceptable?
I mean, it is acceptable as of right now, because how else is Digibyte going to get on some of these exchanges? And to survive in this market right now, you do need liquidity and you do need volume. But I mean, the landscape is rapidly changing right now. I'm telling you, within a year, it's going to be a whole lot different than what we're seeing right now, where we have all these centralized exchanges in power. And once, like I said, decentralized exchanges come, they're only going to be charging to support the people working on the platform. They're not going to be charging to make just massive amounts of money. So as of right now, I do find it is acceptable, because if a coin wants to survive, they need to pay those listing fees.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about decentralization. There is, in fact, a rampant debate going on about centralized versus decentralized exchanges. But in an industry, as you said, that aims toward decentralization, what are the challenges and limitations of centralized exchanges?
Well, the main thing is the custody of funds. I mean, with most centralized exchanges, you are trusting that centralized exchange with your funds. I don't know how you put this. Only a few centralized exchanges implement full cold storage technology where your funds are fully stored in cold storage. Binance does implement a semi-cold storage, but most of the funds are in a hot wallet. And a hot wallet is basically where funds can move in and out frequently, so trades can happen. But the thing about hot wallets is they are very susceptible to hacks and threats. And it has happened multiple times throughout this industry. It's only 10 years old, and I'm sure 95% of exchange hacks are due to hot wallets. Again, another issue with centralized exchanges is the centralized exchange has the will to do what they want with that exchange. There is no community input taken in. They do sometimes listen to the community, but the centralized exchange has all power in moving the exchange forward, which goes against what cryptocurrency is all about. And also manipulation on centralized exchanges. That is one of the biggest issues I have, because wash trading, bot trading is running rampant through centralized exchanges right now.
Do you want to mention any other exchanges that you would recommend following?
Centralized or decentralized?
Decentralized. Anyone that you, I think decentralized in this case.
Well, if you do need liquidity and volume, and most centralized exchanges have those right now, I do recommend Liquid.io. It is a Japanese, fully regulated by the Japanese Financial Services Agency. They store all of their funds in cold storage. So withdrawals do take a day with Liquid, but that's only due to the security they're putting towards your tokens. So if you need liquidity and you need the volume and you're a high volume trader, and you need a centralized exchange, I would recommend Liquid. In terms of decentralized exchanges, functioning right now, one of my favorites is Bitshares. It is based off the Bitshares blockchain. It has hundreds of crypto trading pairs, and it does have liquidity. But if you're a high volume trader, it may not have that liquidity you need. So you may need to go with a centralized option right now. I'm not saying that's going to change in the future. I think it's going to rapidly change where decentralized exchanges have the most volume. Another decentralized exchange, which is coming out this month, is Nash. It is built on top of Neo using Neo smart contracts, but they are also utilizing Ethereum, and that will be a Binance competitor.
Okay, let's go into the regulation part now. 2019 is likely to be the year where cryptocurrency regulation will become the big move for organizations like SEC and other financial bodies around the world. What are the main concerns that should be addressed within a regulatory framework, you think?
Well, the main issues is custodian of funds, how funds are secured, especially on exchanges. Because, like I said, hot wallets are very susceptible to hacks. There needs to be cold storage regulations implemented for exchanges. As we saw with the Canadian exchange Quadriga, massive breach right there. And no one knows exactly what happened to the exchange. So the people in charge of exchange also need to be liable for this. There needs to be some sort of regulations that pushes them through the criminal justice system so this doesn't repeatedly happen. The next thing regarding regulations I would like to see is kind of a relax on regulations, especially here in the United States. Overbearing regulations do impede development and the evolution of the industry. We saw this in New York with the Bit license, and actually over in California, my home state, they're trying to pass a Bit license law, which impedes innovation. So there has to be a balance between, good regulation that protects the consumer and regulation that doesn't impede the evolution of the industry.
Okay, so still on this, before you have argued that ICO listings on crypto exchanges are a way to pump both the exchange and the coin, how does it look for those watching the crypto space?
It doesn't look good if you actually do the digging. The tides are changing against these centralized exchanges who are using these shady, manipulative ways to pump their own coins as well as coins on their platform. I mean, if you just go over mainstream media right now, CoinDesk, you don't really see much about it. But as you get deeper into the industry, you start getting on Twitter, you start getting on Telegram channels, you start learning about these things. And I think as the industry evolves more, you're going to hear more from people like me that are going to start having a voice, that are going to start showing exactly what's going on in this industry.
This leads us to the big question about transparency. I mean, the process of getting a token listed on a crypto exchange is much less transparent than the process for a company to be listed on a stock exchange. How do you think the lack of a standardized protocol for listing affects the crypto market?
It does affect it a lot. I mean, the transparency that goes down with listing fees is completely non-transparent. So I actually recently did a video with Blocknet. It was a decentralized exchange, and they were trying to get listed on Binance. Well, Binance has a standard, listing form that you fill out. Well, Binance recontacted Blocknet and asked them a series of very intruding questions about their technology. And that's because Binance is on their way to building their own DEX. And they were actually using that application form to perform opposition research against Blocknet. So companies right now are using their positions of being the top exchange right now to not only extort projects, but also to perform opposition research, which should be completely illegal. So I actually am, if we are going to have centralized exchanges like that, that are this powerful, I am all for a standardized, transparent listing process.
Okay, let's talk a bit about security, which is, we said, a major issue for exchanges. Security protocols also play a vital role while maintaining such exchange at the same time. So what can crypto exchanges, in your view, do to ensure maximum security for coins and their users?
Well, of course, decentralized exchange is coming out right now, which let users be custodian of their own funds. It's on the user side. The exchange never has access to the funds unless a trade is being executed. So number one, that's the best thing right there. Security is to have hardware wallet integration, online wallet like Mu integration, those type of things where the user is in the custodian of their own funds is for max security. That's personally what I want out of any exchange. The next part, if you are running a centralized model, and that is impossible, is cold storage.
Okay, so finally, digital asset exchanges, which are emerging as one of the biggest winners of the cryptocurrency boom. I mean, the top 10 are generating as much as 3 million in fee a day, or they are adding to more than 1 billion per year, according to the estimates compiled by Bloomberg. So, Chico, do you want to expand on how you see the future shaping up on the role of crypto assets?
Yeah, well, digital assets are going to revolutionize this space. People don't see it coming, but with things like assets on top of a digibyte, you're going to be able to create an asset out of any real world item, a car, a marriage license,
property,
property, anything is going to be able to be digitized and tradable instantly. And you're not going to need a middleman for that to happen. So it's not only revolutionizing how we look at real world assets, but it's also revolutionizing how we trade them. But that doesn't stop at real world assets. You can digitize tickets, you can digitize gaming items. You're going to be, it's literally, you can digitize and turn it into asset, almost anything. A conversation you can even turn into an asset.
How long do you think it's going to take to get to this point, where we are going to have a full implementation of digi assets?
Well, digi assets is moving forward. They do have it on testing assets on the mainnet right now for digi assets. I would say a fully functioning platform will probably be out sometime early next year.
Okay, that's very interesting, and we will definitely follow the progress of Digibyte. So we have to close it here, but thank you very much for your insight and your time, and let's see how the market evolves and who are the winners and the losers.
Well, I think the winners and losers are going to be a lot of people. The markets, as we know, is volatile, so the more you dig into what people are actually saying, what is actually going on, don't just pay attention to mainstream media, you guys. Do your own research. Use multiple sources of information, and you're going to be one of the winners.
Thank you very much, Tyler. This is everything. This is everything from the Financial Fox. See you next time, and don't forget to follow us on the Financial Fox TV show. Thank you.
Thank you.